is a transparent overdrive. Just dropped into the studio is the Blue Note Select from Rockett. This is a version 2 of their low-gain overdrive called the Blue Note. In fact, it doesn't get much more low-gain than this, and it straddles the line between boost and overdrive. And in this video, we're going to find out if it's any good. The pedal layout is really simple. We've got our bypass foot switch, top-mounted jacks, volume, gain, tone, and fat knob, and then the hot switch, which makes it even more gainy. So it's time to put this on my pedal board and put some guitars through it. The amp I'm going to use first is the Victory Sheriff 25, which is a Plexi style amp with a hot rod switch, so it goes more JCM 800 as well. And then I'll put it through the Deluxe Reverb, the Fender head just here. Everything going through vintage 30s from Celestion. The reason I'm doing that is because Rockett recommend that you put this through an amp that's breathing, meaning that not totally clean. But I've played it through the Fender so far, and I really like it. But they say play it through something a bit with more bite. So that's what we're going to do first. We're going to start with the Strat in the neck position. This is going to be super subtle. So pedal off first. Now, that is a transparent overdrive. There is very little happening to the tone there. There's a little bit of tonal characteristics changing, of course, but very, very little. It's transparent, but it isn't only transparent. And the word transparent gets thrown around a lot. I misuse it all the time, and I'm trying to be better. But let's be less transparent now and flip in the hot switch. Now, there's an obvious gain difference there, but if we leave the hot switch alone for a little bit, that was just a little aperitif. Let's play with the gain on the pedal itself, and you can hear how just digging in with the pick makes a total difference to the sound. So pedal off first. Pedal on. Again, just a little touch, but let's make it a bit raunchier. Let's boost that gain a touch. And we've barely scratched the surface. Let's go for that fatty knob. That's in fact, let's go full skinny first. No fatness. Now it's really pushing the Sheriff, and it's also bringing its own gain into it, meaning it's getting fuzzy, it's getting aggressive, it's getting sort of one of the, like turning up a small amp totally to the max, like a Fender Champ basically blowing out. And I think it sounds great, but we've lost a bit of clarity, so I'm going to back off the fatty a bit and bring up the tone. For me, that's retaining that fatness that I want, but it's giving it, yeah, just a little bit more information in the top end. But what happens if we turn on the hot switch? That's super fat and miles away from that really transparent thing I had going on earlier on. The hot switch is a must-have in my opinion, because if you're using single coils, it also adds a roundness to it. If you're using anything else, such as P90s or humbuckers or lipsticks or anything else that might transfer your sound into electronic signal, then you might not need to worry so much. But let's try it with P90s. Les Paul Jr., absolute rock machine. It's great. I want it to be even greater. In fact, let's back off the gain a little bit and just boost that fatty. See how it boosts this this little P90 we've got in the bridge. I mean, more is more, right? What happens if you put the hot switch on? It's like these three things were made for each other. This guitar, that pedal, and this amp. What a beautiful combination. Of course, I could get more gain from the amp, but I'm getting more control over that fatness from the pedal. It's not a bass. It's a full-on... It's a fat. It's a sort of... It is a bottom-end control, of course, but it's more than that. It's more than just having bass, middle, and treble. And then having the tone there is necessary. And I wasn't sure how that was going to play into the sort of equation of tone. It's bringing back a lot of clarity. But I wonder if I can get it to fuzz. Let's find out. So I'm going to put the gain all the way up. Hot switch off at first, because I don't want to make it too easy for the pedal. And then let's put fatty all the way up. I'm looking for sort of synthy, but with a neck pickup. So there we go. Let's have tone on about 4-5. That is a truly vintage rock tone that would do well in any song that requires vintage rock tone. No, any sort of... You're in a band, you've got one guitar. This is a setup you need. What an amazing amazing feeling. Ow. Stuck myself with a pick then. Let's stick it in a hot mode. I kind of forgot you were there for a moment. Wow. If you know me, you know that I love fuzzes, and I think that's like a really good clear fuzz. What an amazing, amazing pedal. Let's put it through the Fender Deluxe Reverb because I want to show you what it sounds like through a clean amp. Because don't forget, this is what the Sheriff sounds like. Clean amp time. I'm going to stick with the Les Paul Jr. for a moment to show you what it sounds like through the Fender. So here's the clean tone. And then bearing in mind that I've got the gain all the way up and I'm on hot mode, this is the Blue Note Select. It is super fun. I love that you can push the gain all the way up and it doesn't sound bad. Like on some drives, maximum gain normally is, or not normally, but on some drives, gain at the top can be unusable. That's fantastic. And it reacts a little bit like a Boss DS1, and the tone is very, very sort of like, you know, the hotel shower temperature gauge. Very sensitive. That's the word I was looking for. Let's sweep the tone. Tone all the way up on a Fender. Sorry about that if you're listening on headphones. I'm going to keep it around there. Here, it doesn't tend to do much in that lower half that I'm hearing, but around there it becomes mighty, mighty sensitive. And we'll do the same for the fat as well. I'm staying on hot mode because I think it kicks butt. Right. The tone knob and fat knob, they work so well in conjunction with one another. That is mind-blowing. Usually, I keep saying usually, with some pedals, you get this one does this knob does this and this knob does that. And now we're getting into everything working in conjunction with each other. Let's hit the hot off just for a second, just to show you what that sounds like. Nice. Right, let's try some subtle gain sweeping with the Blue Note Select and this Les Paul Jr. The gain is all the way at the bottom. It says Blue Note, so it makes me think blues. And it does blues lovely, but there's more to it than that. I'm not even on the hot setting yet. More gain. Hot switch. It's getting a bit scratchy. That's my fault. That tone is super where I need it. Whatever that. Another day. I think I prefer it like fat, mostly fat waves, especially with a Fender. And the EQ is set as I always set it. It's not particularly thin sound. Let's try baritone. I'm super excited about how this sounds for the Fender. I thought it was going to be weak. It is powerful. There's so much more than just blues in the Blue Note Select. All right, let's start off somewhere sensible with the hot switch off. I love it. I think that sounds brilliant. I've got a delay pedal here. He says. I haven't tried humbuckers yet. I'm so happy. I feel like I've unlocked something new. Should probably turn the delay off. That was immense fun. Neck pickup, that was. Okay. Right, let's go back to the middle. Rockett have never released a pedal that I didn't like. And I thought that this was going to be a one-trick pony, and I thought I was going to find something that I didn't like about it. Because I thought it's going to be another bluesy kind of low-gain thing. But the spectrum of gain on this thing is huge. Of course, with the hot switch, I'm expecting it to get hotter. And I have got the gain almost all the way up. But that could be the one drive you need. That's going through a clean amp, remember? He says. Do you need another overdrive? Probably not. Should you get this overdrive? Most certainly. I'm 100% sold that Rockett have some kind of wizard working or living in the factory where they make these, and they cannot do no wrong. They can do no wrong. They cannot do wrong. One of those. Choose one of those two. The positive one. Yeah. It is not the cheapest overdrive in the world. This pedal is going to set you back around 220 to 250 notes, which is a considerable amount for a pedal. Or is it? I mean, it's not really these days. It's just definitely not budget territory. But if this were a budget clone of some sort of pedal, it would have several, I'm guessing, sorry, it would have several areas that are unusable. And that's generally what I find with cheaper cloned pedals that are, I don't know, let's say up to 100 euros or notes, that these pedals, they have a few great sounds in them, and they are great. However, rarely do they sound good across all of the dials, and I have not found one unusable sound in the Blue Note Select. So it does it all well, and I like that in a pedal when there's not an unusable bit. It does get rather bright, but you might need that, you see, if you're doing the old neck pick-up-y jobby. And I always know when a pedal is good because I never want to stop playing it. And I never want to stop playing this. It's like someone took a tube screamer and made it a clon, so like a clon tube screamer kind of thing. And I was not expecting to get such high gain out of it, so I'm super surprised about that. It works well with clean amps, which Rockett says it doesn't, or warned that it might not. And it works well with driven amps. I'm very, very happy with this pedal. And if you're thinking of getting one, if you're on the fence, you should not be. Go and get it. That's my recommendation for your choices for today. It's a good pedal. I've got to take it off to hold it because one thing I like about Rockett pedals is the way they feel. It's heavy. It's made of metal. There's this kind of powder coating on it. It's a new color. I've never seen a pedal look this color before. And as guitar players, we do tend to buy with our eyes more than we should. That is going to stand out on any board, but it isn't just a blues pedal. So if you want to play something from very light blues with just a hint of hair to full-on rock, this will do it, and it will do it well. If you want to push your amp even further into overdrive, this will also operate as a boost. I kind of wish that the hot switch was foot switchable. So we had two switches, and then you could switch that with your foot. Or at least there was an external jack, but then that will push the price up or make the enclosure bigger. Oh well. Well, there's links to this in the video description and first comment. I recommend you go and buy one immediately. It's kind of like you need a Boss SD1, you need a clon style, you need several hundred fuzzes, and you need one of these as well. All right. There's a video that YouTube think that you should watch next as well, by the way. Go and prove them right or wrong, and I will see you in the next one, probably with that Blue Note Select being in the background somewhere. Bye-bye!